Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special video. I'm going to show you how to remove a distraction from a photo. In this case, a very beautiful picture of this little girl from the Celtic Fest that I took, and it has this car right here in the background that I find very distracting, and it just takes away from the photo. It's not as awesome as it would be without this car, so let's go ahead and get started right away. As you can see, I did change some of the sliders here. I wanted less contrast, I wanted no shadows, and I bumped the highlights a little bit, but that's it. I didn't really do anything. Otherwise, this is just straight off the camera. You can see my settings here. I was at ISO 100, 1/3200th of a second. My aperture, I was using a manual lens, so that's why it's not on there. But I know for a fact the aperture was f1.4. It's wide open on an 85mm lens, and that's how I got this very nice shallow depth of field effect. So let's go ahead and get started removing this car right here. I'm going to go ahead and open this in Photoshop, and you can see there is the after picture where the car is gone. So here is the after, here is the before, and only you as the photographer is going to notice anything that has to do with the fact that you covered it up. Nobody is going to know that you covered it up at all. So if I zoom in here, I mean, yeah, you can see the fact that you covered it up. And what we're going to do here, you know, you copied some material up here and brought it down here, but nobody will know if you just look at this photo. So let's get started. First of all, I want to do Control J, start a new layer, and you can do this with any version of Photoshop. I happen to be using an older version. I don't remember what year this is, but I'm not using the Photoshop CC, but it's the same stuff. They have the same tools. It may be a little bit upgraded and new looking, but it's the same stuff. So first of all, what I usually like to start out with is I go over here and go to my patch tool. If this will work right, I always want to start out with that, and I select. All you do is left click, and you're drawing an area around it, all the way around it. Complete the circle. You let off, and now I'm going to hold down left click again and drag it to where I want to copy material and have it replace it and do a content aware. So I'm just going to drag it over here and see what happens. At first it's going to look ugly, most likely, but that's okay. We go in and we patch it, and I'll show you how we do that. Alright, so you can see that looks pretty ugly. You could definitely notice that you tried to cover something up at this point. So I'm going to do Control D, which deselects that circle there. Now, I will go over here to my stamp tool, and I pretty much like the size of that. So if I hit the Alt key, it goes to this little target symbol. That means you want to pick up material from this certain target wherever you place it. So I'm going to left click, say I want it right there, and I'm going to bring it down. You see how it gives you a little preview of what you're going to do. So I have the opacity set to 31. Let's go maybe a little less opacity and just start covering this up. Start blending it in, basically, is what we're doing. And you can see I picked up a little bit of hair there. I don't want to do that. Control Alt Z will make you step backwards. And you want to pick up material from several different areas, you can just keep hitting Alt and selecting and go down to help blend this in a lot better. And I'll go over here. Oop. Pick up some stuff. You can see the circle's a little too big. It keeps picking up something when I come over here. So I'm going to shrink it down by hitting the left bracket. See some more green in there. So I'm just blending this in, you know. That's all we're trying to do is blend, blend, blend. You don't want, if I zoom in here, you don't want, let me get the pointer, a line. You see how I drew a box around this, okay, with the patch tool, and it will leave a line. Well, you're trying to just blend it in where you don't see this line, and then of course blend in the colors a little bit better so it kind of looks like there was a tree like there was over here, and nobody's ever going to be able to know that, what was actually there. Only you as the photographer, right? Let's go back to the stamp tool. Get more green in here. And this may end up looking a little different than the one that I produced originally, and that's okay. They're never going to look exactly the same. Every time that you edit a photo, it's going to look a little different every time you do it. Let's put some of that little highlight over here. Yeah, I like that. It's a little too dark right there. I don't like that. So zoom in here. Yeah, you see the lines are smoothing out. I'm starting to blend in the colors. I'm going to bring more green around here and in here a little bit. Let's go ahead and bring the opacity up to 30% or so. Still got to blend in this line here. So every time I'm going up, I'm hitting the Alt key and I'm selecting where I want to take material from and bring it down. The reason is because your selection where you're bringing material from will move a lot of times, and you'll end up picking up hair, or you'll pick up something that you don't want, basically. So you see, I'm just blending it in. Over here and pick up some of that too. There we go. And like I said, if you make a mistake, just hit Control Alt Z, or you can hit Edit Undo, and you can see it shows the hotkeys here anytime you go up to the menus, and Control Alt Z or Alt Control Z, that's the one that I use all the time, step backwards. Or you can just do undo right here. And there you have it, you get the point. This is just a very quick video to show you, and now who is going to notice? I could do a little bit better job, of course, but I think you get the point, right? See how easy that was? Now, I have to say that it is a whole lot easier if you are taking a portrait where you're doing a very shallow depth of field, because when something's already blurry, it's a lot easier to cover up something that's blurry. It just is. But you can do this with anything. There's a lot more challenging stuff you can cover up and take out of your photos. Just practice with it, and as soon as I have another photo where I want to remove something, I'll do another video if it's something that's more complicated, and we'll get into that. So thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mike Direhorse. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Catch the light.